It is Thursday morning and you have a listing appointment for Wednesday noon and your comps are pulled, your presentation is not ready, is all in the folder, half finished a slide doc and the knots in your stomach, and you say, how many hours between now and Wednesday are you going to lose starting at this whole file for the home seller?
Now, that all sounds fancy, and you know that the seller is going to be interviewing two other people because this is a diligent seller. And those who show up calm, prepared, anchored, and professional win the listing every time. So what do we need to do to make sure we're not scrambling and we're not running around? We have all of our comps and all of our data. Now we need to put it all together. And which one are we going to do?
Exactly. Tell us about
now,
what co-work does.
Here's the pro. In co-work, you're going to have to make everything from scratch every single time. You have to give it all the data. You're going to have the slide builder, and all of it is going to be all together every single time, kind of putting you together through a list. This is 6 jobs you're doing, and you might have 3 other appointments that day. And it's also costing you time because while you know what you want to do each step of the way, that steps are going to take you time. Now, what we do with Claude Code is going to automate this whole system. So
Exactly.
you're not going to be doing the 3 different or 4 different steps. We're going to have it all together in one presentation. In the last video, we talked about a CRM and how we get all this information on a CRM. And then once that is done, now we want to make it beautiful. And now we want to make sure that that listing presentation is top notch. And this way you can actually go through it. So we're going to be going back to our 8-section pre-presentation that is already formatted in Canva. Once everything is covered, and in about 15 minutes, you're going to have everything you need. So let's talk about that.
Exactly. Therefore, one of the first step that I think my wife went way far is basically.
I don't want to go back to the bricks.
Okay. Basically, first you need to put the fair housing in there to make sure that we don't mess up with anything of the law that is supposed to be done. Now, we wanted to make sure that we build the business the long way, because what we're going to tell you, we are trying to give you the steps that helps you how automate whole procedure to when you come to your next listing presentation, you already have the code and then you run it, and out of no time, you can put all the steps together, make that beautiful folder for the home seller, and make your listing presentation so professional that nobody can question you about how you come up with all details for the home seller.
Now, you heard this in the past. If you don't own the system, you're renting the system or you're renting time. And we don't want you to be doing that with any system. You want to be able to create your own. And we actually have a GitHub, happy to send it to you. We're giving you all of this as well. So this is just basic stuff right now. Now, we've already talked about in the CRM video a couple videos ago that you're not auto-pulling comps. This is your job as a real estate agent. You are making sure that those comps are there and they are locked. And you're making sure you're thinking there. And then also making sure that Claude is helping you as a coworker, making sure that these are steps setting up so you can look at it in the appraiser section and 2 different ways appraisers might be looking at numbers. And then now we've done all that. That was last video, right? Now this one, we're going to take all that information and really now we go into a Canva. Now you want to make sure you have a cover, your introduction of who you are, the market context, the summary, the pricing strategy, the marketing plan, and the pricing recommendations, and of course a timeline and why. You only know a little bit. But we're going to basically, by having a system, you have it sent to output on Gamma because you already had the numbers now. So now we're talking about how we're going to build all of this. You can also do it in Canva. Many people do Canva, but again, that's making sure that you're using it every time. I personally like Gamma because it makes much more beautiful presentations for me in a PDF.
Exactly. And this is the part that most of the actually people that building the system, they kind of escape telling you. We built a hook into the Claude Code that physically blocks any gamma generation and any Canva that export and any WordPress that publish, unless the run has a citation file and passing a fact check port. So you cannot accidentally ship a presentation that is not anchored in your base of your real data.
And also, if you have a problem where AI likes to talk about, oh, you can get this price for $20,000 or $20,000 higher, whatever nonsense, you can cut all that in code and say, no, we are strictly doing these numbers based on the numbers and numbers alone. So just know that you can program your code so you never have all those like fall throughs every single time. So let's kind of go through it. Let's talk about that 15 minutes for the schema.
Exactly. Therefore, here's the run, basically a start to finish. You feed it the seller's property and your vetted comps that my wife said you already need to pull it, and address, bed, bathroom, square footage, recent updates, lots, comps that you have already approved for the cloud code, and 10 minutes of the input of most which you already done by that time that you put already in your schedule, in your calendar. No?
Now, the next thing we want to do is the first time you do this, you're going to have your agent introduction clause having set up. You have to kind of give your brand information if you don't have brand information. Once it's there, you don't have to do that again. So making sure your cover and your agent intro is programmed in there so they can give it to you every single time. The second thing you want to do is give that market context. I give my cloud my MLS data as much as possible. It doesn't go automatically. I wish it did, but I do give it as much information as well. So it has the town data, it has the subdivision data, it has the median sold list, it has the days. So it's not just picking information randomly, it's following the rules.
Exactly. And the section 3 of this part, basically the com summary, because you already vetted the comms and narrated. When you ship this CMA narrative skills, that break does all the narration for you. And for now, the listing skills write the section 3 that we were talking about, the comm summary, directly for you.
Now, next thing is the pricing strategy. This is the 3 evaluations of pricing system that really help you win the skill. And the next one is going to be something kind of fun. It's the marketing plan. Do you want me to talk or do you want to do it?
Yeah, you can talk about it.
Okay, so basically you want to give how you market a home into your code. I'm not telling you you're going to actually do this for this home, but you're going to have a just listed plan. You're going to have an open house plan. You're going to have an MLS to social media plan. And now all those things that you already have Cloud Code doing, you're going to basically have it say, hey, mention my other codes. So it can now write a beautiful marketing plan based on what you're going to do and you really can do for this home because you've already told Cloud what we're going to do. So therefore, if you don't have a marketing plan, we have to create the marketing plan. If you have one, it's going to be there.
Exactly. And part of that 3 ways of the basically pricing which is the pool of the comms, is really offering price recommendation, which is breakdown to the low, recommended, and the high. Then each of them with the basically 2 or 3 rationales that why you recommend this, for example, this price. Is it because of the appraisal? Is it because of the comps? Because it's the vicinity to the property? And you have a logic for each of them to tell the seller why we are picking this price or we are not picking this price.
And the seventh thing we're going to talk about is timeline. Every place is different. You know your market way more than we know, and we know our market, right? But basically understanding, you have to explain a little bit from pre-listing to closing and honest about what contingencies typically happen in your area. And you know these things. So once you coded Cloud with this, you'll never have to give it this information again unless things change. So that's another thing. You can feed it a timeline. And what's the 8th one?
The 8th one is why us? No, that is the one that protects your license. The format is here. What we do is specific for your home to get it listed with the top dollar and what it means for you. And basically, you never mention that unlike other agent, because you are putting all, as my wife said, to the cloud code with all marketing strategy and marketing pricing that you show them that how you can with the best professional idea that you can give them and the services that you offer to get them their house listed and sold with the highest price.
Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about really quickly is you want to make sure once you have the pricing and you've already decided that you're going to do this, it becomes after the first time just clicking slash and then doing it. You don't have to think about it anymore. But basically, you're going to take your numbers that you already worked out, have the gamma run, and it's going to be in your inbox already, or next time you plug in, it's going to be already there. So you log into gamma and it's going to be there. But you have to make sure that the gamma is triggered. I know you have to say that. You do have to make sure it actually runs. So you just have to, you can't just tell Claude to do and then not pay attention to him. You have to see that he's actually done it. He's going to do it quick, but you're going to have to make sure that it actually got fired through.
Exactly. Now that you triggered the gamma, now is the fun part comes, that for many people actually is the stressful part. Why? Because you have those deck of the files on your tablet and you walk in peacefully and confidently to that listing presentation because you have a file to basically price the property as that you pull everything with the cloud code, and the other side you have a marketing strategy that is feeded and individualized for that property, and other files that we can talk like a gamma presentation that you can offer with the net proceed to the home seller, and that is going to be your game changer for winning the listing.
Now, these three variants, I would say have at least 3 different variants of your listing presentation. Maybe you want a luxury one. Maybe you're knowing a multi-agent interview process. Maybe you're going to a pre-listing to where the homes are a little bit, just you're not sure they're looking, so you have to keep it more light expository. You want to make sure maybe you're looking at the first time seller. So you have 3 different variants or 4 different variants that you can tell it to run at this number. That way the next time you're doing it, you're not saying, hey, this is a luxury seller or this is a first time seller. They're just trying to move up. So you want to just, once you have enough of it running, you can have some variations going.
Exactly.
So basically, you're going to have the whole skill down. The first time is going to take you a little bit, like it's going to take you the same amount of time in co-work, but then you're never going to have to rerun all of that the next time in co-work. You're going to have a system, and time equals freedom, and that is the whole game we want, which is why you're working with the code.
Exactly. Therefore, we're putting a couple hours to really, after the skill set with the cloud code, to really 15 minutes. Because remember, you need to pull those comps, but when you vetted those comps to the cloud code is going to do your magic. Whatever you wanted to do, luxury, first-time home seller, is going to create those beautiful presentation with gamma, and is going to give it to you all, and you can carry it with you with your tablet at timeless, and then present it to the seller.
So we can't wait to talk to you more at Prosperity Agent. We give anybody who joins us EXP 100% free everything. We can also purchase some of our programs as well now, so that's exciting. But really, we're looking to make sure that we partner with the right people at EXP because we love our upline and we love helping